What's up, everybody? Very important video coming your way today. I made an important realization, and it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. Who is the most accurate NBA player comparison for second-year Jazz guard Donovan Mitchell? A lot of people like to throw out Dwayne Wade. I've heard Allen Iverson. I've heard Baron Davis, Steve Francis, lots of bigger scoring type guards, Dion Waiters, Gilbert Arenas. They shoot very similar. But the other day it clicked for me. There is one that is more perfect than all the other ones that are thrown out, and that is Carmelo Anthony. No, I'm just playing with y'all. Don't get too mad at me. But hey, shout out to 35 shots with no assists. No, the real player comparison is Victor Oladipo. And those that see that and think, Victor Oladipo is a lot better than Donovan Mitchell. Well, yeah, Oladipo's in his 6th year. He's heading into his prime. He's playing at an All-NBA level. Donovan Mitchell is still young, still figuring it out. So today we're actually going to be comparing their second seasons in the NBA. For those of you that are saying that Donovan Mitchell is going to be way better than Victor Oladipo, I would pump the brakes a little bit on that. And once again, I wouldn't be surprised if he did exceed Oladipo's ceiling. But this is kind of my targeted outcome, what I expect Donovan Mitchell's production to be in the future. And he could plateau below that as well. I mean, Victor Oladipo is a really good player. And then finally, for those of you that are saying that Donovan Mitchell is already better than Victor Oladipo, yeah. So let's first look at their dimensions because they're very similar size. Victor Oladipo has 1 inch in height on Donovan Mitchell. However, Donovan Mitchell has him beat by 1 inch in wingspan. Their weights, basically the same. Okay, now let's look at the stats comparing Mitchell's second season to Oladipo's second season. And these are really interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're pretty apples to apples because Mitchell and Oladipo in their second years were playing alongside pass first, not really shooting threat point guards in Elfrid Payton and Ricky Rubio. And that 2014-15 Magic team is really interesting, actually. They had a rookie Payton, rookie Aaron Gordon, and they also had Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier, and Tobias Harris on their rookie scale deals. If they would have kept that core together alongside Oladipo, that might have been kind of nice, but they got a little impatient, traded some of the players away. Anyways, what can you do? It's the Orlando Magic. Also, it's an interesting comparison because in their second year, they were both in their age 22 season. So they're at their same age, same stage of their development. So I'm gonna zoom in on a couple of these stats that are interesting. First of all, the efficiency slightly favors Oladipo. However, the assist to turnover favors Donovan Mitchell, which is doubly impressive because he also has the higher usage. So in these clips that we're gonna look at, I'm gonna do some similar plays and take a look at Oladipo in his second season and compare that to Mitchell.
So let's take a look at the video.
So first we're going to look at an ISO situation from the top of the key where they cross over right to left and then come back and finish with the right hand. That was on James Harden, and Oladipo's about to do it on Chicago Bulls Jimmy Butler. And this is actually a clutch situation, but that was so nice. We got to play it back twice, side by side. Let's take a look. Oladipo with the through the legs crossover. Other than that, really similar, long strides getting to the basket. Now let's take a look at the stare down 3 of Donovan Mitchell special. Here he's got the 1-4 up top. Shumpert backs up, drain. Here we're gonna see Oladipo being guarded by Kyle Lowry, and that's another clutch shot actually. That was to win a game in his second year. So let's look at that again. And they gave him a lot of space because the Magic shot about half as many threes as the Jazz do this year. So they weren't expecting it that much. There you see Mitchell again. And here you see Oladipo, clock winding down. Both of them have that shot in their arsenal. Here, we're gonna see him take the rock from someone. First, Mitchell on Markelle Fultz, highway robbery, let's go the other way. And then this other Oladipo one is another clutch time moment, and that's on Wesley Johnson to seal the win in overtime. The Magic only had 25 wins that season, by the way. Next, on the break, there are alley-oop threats, obviously. Both of them have appeared in the dunk contest, so Mitchell obviously won. But they can throw it down for 6'4"-ish guards. Here we're gonna see Mitchell spin in the lane and finish at the rim. If you overplay, both of them know how to spin and get to the shot they want. De'Aaron Fox with the overplay, and Mitchell is a freight train going to the rim. There's Oladipo spinning on Eric Bledsoe, similar finish. Now we're gonna see him putting him in jail. Putting him in jail just means that you have the defender on your back and you kind of shield them away from what you're doing, and then you finish with the floater. So there's Mitchell doing it, and here we're gonna see Oladipo put Darren Williams in jail. and getting the and one, that Nets team. Here's Mitchell on the other side of the key, putting his defender in jail. Mitchell's got really nice touch in the key, and so does Oladipo. Mitchell does shoot far more from the 3 to 10 foot range than Oladipo does, however. Here we're gonna see them drive across the lane and come back to that right hand for a swooping finish. There was Mitchell, and we're gonna see Oladipo with a similar play. Drives the closeout, gets to the side of the rim he wants to get to. Here we're gonna see them going to the left and settling in behind that three-point line. This is a shot that Donovan Mitchell really likes. Once again, his three-point rate is much higher than Oladipo's was his second year. But that was partly just the style of the NBA. I mean, in 4 short years, three-point rates have spiked so much. There we see the big man failing to step up, and Oladipo with a similar shot settling into that shot pocket. Now we're gonna see another floater. This time they don't really have a defender on their back. They just see that the big man has dropped, and they're gonna go ahead and ease that shot right over the top. And that's something both of them have. This time, instead of going left, we're gonna be going right. Splash. Mitchell's three-point percentage, as a side note, has always confused me because when he's got it going, his shot looks so repeatable and so good. And I talked about the Gilbert Arenas comparison before, but there's just a balance that both of them have and an easiness to their release. Those last two are really similar. Okay, here we're gonna see one of Mitchell's best highlights of the season, and I'm gonna replay that for you because that is a nasty move on Marc Gasol, who, by the way, is #1 in RPM in the NBA. That's a nasty left to right kind of Euro step, side step. There we're gonna see Oladipo. He's got that subtle little lateral movement. There Mitchell totally fakes out Eric Gordon. And there's Oladipo. We're gonna be getting to that left side of the rim right hand finish that Oladipo likes a lot later. Here we got a couple of spot up possessions. These two that you're gonna see are really similar, same exact area of the court. Quick release, Oladipo goes straight up with it. And now we have from the top of the key. More on their three-point attempts later, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be getting to it. Okay, now we're gonna see a drive left. And this is where we're gonna get into some of the differences in their game. So first of all, Oladipo takes Evan Turner. He has a sick layup package, but you'll notice he finished with his right hand on the left side of the rim. Mitchell is much, much more comfortable with the left hand. Here we get into the Ben Simmons, which means you drive left, but you can't actually shoot with your left hand. So you tilt your body so that your left shoulder faces the basket and you put it up with the right hand. This is something Ben Simmons does all the time. We're gonna see a side-by-side. Both of them hard left-hand drive, and they kind of glide into that right-handed floating shot. Here's one of Donovan Mitchell's specialties, the right-hand extension finish. Something that I feel like opposing defenses have caught onto in his second year. I've seen that shot blocked a little bit more. There it is, right there getting goaltended. And there's a very similar finish by Oladipo shielding off Amir Johnson. Let's see it 3 times for both players. Both of them do this a lot. Oladipo especially is a heavy right-handed finisher. Now we're gonna see some spins and fadeaways. This shot by Donovan Mitchell is extremely high degree of difficulty. That one was pretty awesome when it happened. Oladipo can also create for himself using the spin and fading away. Neither player really loves to do that though. Both of them also have an extremely high points per possession off cuts and are adept at moving without the ball. That's something that comes with the territory being having great lateral quickness and athleticism. Here we're gonna see both players stopping around the free throw line area. That's a nice step back from Oladipo, splash. Here we're gonna see Mitchell again on the left side of the court. That was the game that he shot 35 times, and a very similar shot from Oladipo. Maybe we should have done a side-by-side on that. Obviously, both of them have huge dunks, as we've alluded to. Mitchell, however, and we'll get a replay on this. That's so nasty. We're gonna get a replay. He is a 2-footed jumper mainly on these. You see that explosion that he gets when he's able to come off 2 feet and catapult up. This dunk by Oladipo is on LeBron James. Something to notice, but off of 1 foot. Now we're gonna see them come across the lane and then come back across their body to shoot the ball up. And then that was over Embiid. And here we see Oladipo operating on plus minus king of that era, Cody Zeller. So here's a left-handed finish. Donovan Mitchell, this comes much more natural too. Look at Oladipo on the basic left-hand shot. That almost rimmed out. More on that later again. Then these guys have crazy athleticism, crazy finishes. I'm going to be getting more into Oladipo's layup package later. But that is such a tricky finish for both players. They both have the Euro step too. And Mitchell likes to do this big, I call it kind of a windshield wiper gather, where he brings the ball up from one side and kind of in a circular motion in an area that defenders don't expect it to be. It's less exaggerated for Oladipo, as you see right there. But both of them have the Euro step in their game. This is something that you see from Mitchell a lot from three-point range. He is able to stop and go straight up and down so easy, but it's something that Oladipo is able to do also. That was kind of a slight lean, but they really get defenders on their heels and then they can just stop. Okay, there's Mitchell with a subtle pump fake on DeAndre Jordan, able to squeeze the shot through, and Oladipo does the same thing. Okay, this block. This is here to satisfy my small Jazz fan audience that gets a pleasure out of him blocking Gordon Hayward. But Oladipo also has some big momentum shifting dunks. Both players can really change the game with their athleticism. Okay, now we're going to be getting into some things that kind of separate the two players now that we've seen all of their similarities, both in the stats and in the eye test and the footage. So we're going to start with Victor Oladipo's layup package. Let me bring this up right here. Here we go. So what does Oladipo have? Well, he is so adept at using the rim to wield off defenders. Here he goes around Robert Sacre. I was astonished at how many reverse finishes he has. He just knows where the rim is all the time when he is in the paint and is really good at finishing. Has really high percentages in the restricted area. So these are just a few of the reverses that he had in his second year. Those t-shirt jerseys, like, I'm not a fan. There we see him darting to the basket. This is something, these are finishes that Mitchell is obviously capable of. I just think that Oladipo did them more frequently. So what does Mitchell have? Let's start off first of all with his left-handed finishes. That's something that Oladipo could not dream of doing right there. Here we're gonna see, that's just saucy. Not even a need to really do that. Just showing off. Gets the and one there as he gets undercut. And then we're gonna take a look more at his three-point attempts, which the difficulty of these, and that is such good footwork to extend your foot like that. We're gonna see another example right here. So he fakes the right-handed drive, step back. Oh, I don't know what happened to that clip. And then you see the distance of the attempts. He's 3-4 feet behind the line right there. That's something that you don't see from Oladipo in his second year. You do see a little bit now, but you feel like Mitchell is really on the cusp of unlocking this just extremely potent three-point attempts. Once again, I am not necessarily saying that Donovan Mitchell is going to become exactly Victor Oladipo. I think that would be a win for Jazz fans. Victor Oladipo is amazing. But if you have a better comparison, a better prediction, leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think about this. Once again, I've gone back and forth a bunch of times and I really settled on Victor Oladipo. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel for more player breakdowns, analysis. I got a lot more video stuff coming, and peace.